In the last episode of this show, our guests made some ridiculous and frivolous predictions. And you know what the worst part about that was? It actually came true. And therefore, it's no surprise that on my left cheek, we have Animesh Thakkar, and on my right cheek, I have Kern Rateria, who seem to be loving the fact that they can rub it in. Because I absolutely rubbished every prediction that they made. And what a footballing week we've had!
How good does this feel, bro? How good does this feel?
While we continue this, please hit subscribe. Ole is at the wheel. Oh my god, guys, how amazing was that?
Yep.
Dude, we called it.
Yeah.
But
We did.
We. But someone thought PSG someone thought PSG was going to blow us out of the park, but masterclass by Ole, and I'm saying that even because he put Bailly in at right back and he realized that's not working.
Exactly.
Right? And he made that switch.
Exactly.
Even during the game. He had the balls to do that then, and he turned it around. And I mean, the boys, dude, the boys actually went in and they got the job done. I mean, if you see that team that we played, and you know, we had like 3 or 4 teenagers on by the end of it, and we still hung on. We broke like some 10 records on the way and stuff like that. It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was really, really great. Like, you know, coming back to your last week's prediction, you know, we both called a goal within 10 minutes for United.
Yeah.
PSG will come back, and then you were very much more optimistic than I was, right?
Yeah.
And you know, honestly, when it was 2-1 up to us, I was like, can this actually happen? No, it surely can't. Don't want to have that belief again. You know, we've got hurt too much in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
But the moment we passed the 75th minute, right, I just got that feeling. It can happen. And you know, kudos to the tenacity, right? Tenacity of the players and the manager, right? He's clearly told a Mason Greenwood, a Chong, go on lads, this is United. You can do this.
Yeah.
And it came from him, went down to the squad, and you know, like when Rashford took that penalty, right? First ever penalty for United.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't believe it. It can't get any better than this, right? I was like on cloud 9.
Yeah.
I think the fact that PSG had won that first leg 2-0, I think that now looking back at this game was actually one of the contributing factors for this second string United team
Right.
to beat them. Because think of it this way, you're 2-0 down in the first leg at Old Trafford. I think they all went to Paris not expecting much. You can't say that no matter how fired up, and yes, Ole was very optimistic about the game in his presser. I'm thinking about Fred, because for me, Fred was one of the best players in that game, and I think he was instrumental in turning United's fortunes around. Think of it this way: you're about to play that game. Everyone in that team knows that this is a second string team. When we play football and we play for a weekend team, you know the feeling. I think the fact that United didn't have that pressure on them, which I think they would have had Pogba, Matic, Herrera, Lingard, Martial. If that starting 11 would have been there would have been immense pressure. The fact that there was no pressure, there was a bit of overconfidence from PSG. I remember Dani Alves picking up the ball on the right hand side, and he was doing keepy ups like that before moving in. There was a lot of overconfidence. I think PSG, now looking at it, I think they bottled it. And he says, after the 75th minute, I felt we could believe. That's actually testament to the fact that they bottled it, because PSG were dominant in that game. I remember the beginning when it was 1-1, they were just passing the ball around us and we were getting nowhere close.
Exactly. You know, I was certain, even more certain when, you know, Mbappe was through, Smalling tried to intercept the ball, Dea went down, just about touched the ball, we cleared it, Bernard hit the post. I'm like, you know what? It's happening now. It's going to happen now.
Pineapple is Chris Smalling.
How good was the pineapple? I mean, talking about you were saying they bottled it. I think there's a Spurs on the Champions League. Another round of 16 exit for them. I think we broke the club. We broke PSG as a club, because after the game, the chairman didn't want to see, broke doors. Our ex-players, dude, come on, like Evra and Cantona and all of these guys, they are now living rent-free in every PSG player's head for the rest of their life. I think that's what's happened. But I think moving on from the United game, right? The other one, Ajax versus Madrid, you know, a similar story in sense of a great comeback. What do you make of it?
I think you guys fluked this result for sure.
Oh, come on, get over it.
Definitely fluked this result. So I think many talking points. So if I can just start with Ajax, and I'll tell you what intrigues me about them. And in fact, Jose Mourinho said something that I completely agree with him. very recently in one of his BT Sport interviews or whatever random giri he's doing right now, Jose said that the problem with Ajax is they play this really attractive brand of football. They do have a distinctive style and all of that. Yeah. But when it really matters, when it hits when shit hits the fan, it's exposed. Which is why Ajax, for as good as they are, they're always bringing forward a new generation of footballers, but they're not bringing forward a new generation of the team, of the club, where the club is winning Champions League. Okay. Yeah. I think that was a very interesting point, and I think what Jose then went on to say is that the real test, Real Madrid are in a slump and all that, and I think Ajax did very well to win 4-1 and blah blah blah, but their real test will be the next leg, the next thing.
Of course,
can they progress, or will they just get swatted away by Man City who will only play Ajax?
But I think is this more about Ajax or is this more about Real?
I think honestly, I was about to say it's also more about Real. If I had to go back a bit, like he said, United had that, second string count coming in, no pressure.
Yeah.
Ajax came in without pressure. Madrid had all the pressure. No Ramos, right? It was playing on the back of their mind. Ramos is the true leader in that side. Yeah. And you could tell, no Ramos in the side, there was no leader. Who spoke up? You thought Cruz will speak up, Modric will speak up.
Cristiano? Oh, wait.
Move on. Let's not get move on.
Yeah, I'm ignoring you. So basically, Benzema, you thought he's the prime attacker, right? He will move. Someone will say something. They didn't. So yeah, if I had to come to it, and specifically Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale was supposed to finally stand up, take charge of the attack, be the leader, easily take over from Ronaldo, right?
And he got subbed on early in spell, so he had time to do
and
it.
Gareth Bale couldn't get it up.
And he didn't even start the game. Vasquez got injured, so he got a chance, and he was being booed by the Madrid faithful. He's clearly not looking like he's part of the team himself. He keeps shrugging them off when he rarely scores nowadays.
He's gone in the summer.
I think you're right, a lot of this has to do with Madrid. Madrid, I think, and I don't disrespect them, they were, champions 3 times in a row, right? No one's done that. It's unprecedented, right? It's just come to a point, I feel maybe the side has to rebuild from scratch. I think the old guard has to kind of move on.
Yeah.
Ramos can help. Maybe with the rebuild,
yeah.
Benzema has to go,
Marcelo,
Bale has to go.
I love him, he's great, but I think he's starting to age.
Yeah. So I think for 5 years they've had this dominance in Europe.
Yeah.
And it's been primarily with the same squad.
Yeah.
Now that the squad's moved on, primarily they need to sort of rebuild again. But I think, having said all of that, it's great, well done Ajax, but it's also, let's still respect Madrid in that terms of because of what they've clearly done that no team has ever been able to do. Not only keep it back to back, but for 3 years.
For sure.
We are saying haha Madrid and all, but all enough, respect a bit, I guess. It's 4 out of the last 5 Champions League. Come on,
guys. If I may, respect to Madrid. I think they've done great over the last 3, 4, 5 years. I'm not saying this because I'm a fanboy, but I think the ending, maybe the way to close this is, the question is, do they miss Ronaldo? They miss him terribly.
अभी पता चलेगा. बहुत Ronaldo कर रहा है.
Please,
let's talk Juve Atletico.
Yeah.
Let's see what you think. Juve Atletico Ronaldo.
Which is brilliant, because if I was to just draw the same conversation into this, talking about the main man, A intersection B, Cristiano Ronaldo, he is going to be the difference in the return leg for Juventus. He's going to be playing against Atletico. He's a Real man. Atletico is the enemy. They are the rival. And this is a return leg where it's 2-0. United have done it. And United did it away. Juventus have it at home. My personal take, I know we spoke about this last time around, but my personal take, I think Juventus will overturn this. It's my turn to make the absolute ridiculous and frivolous.
So just because he's predicting this, Atletico is going through.
I'm burning my earlier prediction also. But you know what? I'm going to stick to my prediction. I think Juve can overturn this definitely. What I will disagree with slightly is it won't just be about Ronaldo. Dybala, Mandzukic. I think it really will be a team effort. It's a Serie A side. It's not La Liga. It's not the front three here. I think the whole team is going to show up.
Damn cute.
And they're going to...
This is like Karan Johar saying this movie is not only about Shah Rukh Khan. There are also 3 actors here and 3 actresses here.
We shall see. We shall see.
It's the Ronaldo show. I think the only way Juventus will turn this around is if it's going to be a Cristiano Ronaldo show. But I agree with you. I think they can do it.
I feel that the only way he'll free up or he gets more space to make his movement is if a Dybala is showing up. If Mandzukic shows up. That's the only way he can be freer and not be tracked by 2 defenders the whole time, right? That's the only way.
Yeah, so we clearly have a consensus that we think I honestly think it's a little closer. As confident as I was a couple of weeks ago, I'm not that confident now, just because I've seen having not that competitive a domestic front does to the team. We've seen it with PSG, right?
Not having a competitive domestic
front does to the team.
Interesting.
Whereas I mean, they've rested everyone in front, and I know
Exactly.
I said
They have no excuses.
They have no excuses. They need to come in. They have no excuses. So I don't know how it's going to play out. I think maybe just because after the match as well, after Atletico beat them, which Atletico could have won comfortably, right? The first leg. Bigger gap. They've kept clean sheets after that. They've not conceded. I think they are in a solid position. I think the overturns have been done for last week.
For this
Hisab ho gaya.
For this
Hisab ho gaya. So which is where we come to, I think City. Also, I think they should be able to go through comfortably in their game.
They should be able to boss
they beat Schalke 3-2 in the first leg.
Going down to 10 men,
Going down to 10 men. Vincent Kompany was it?
Yeah.
The red card.
No, the red
card.
Otamendi. Sorry. Vincent Kompany part 2 basically.
Basically. So I think that City won. I think we're all again on the
I think City are too strong.
I think they're too strong. And I'll repeat my point from the last 2 weeks. City are the best placed English side to win the Champions League this year.
Speaking of City and Juventus back to back.
I'm going to change that. I think United now are the best players.
Guys, we just hit something incredible. Speaking of City and Juventus back to back, what's the common theme? Pep Guardiola to Juventus. What do you think of that? Let's talk about it. Right?
But he's dismissed it. Completely, saying it's not happening.
He said unless
I feel bad for Massimo. But no, I feel bad for Pellegrini. But I'm here. I'm happy with it. Unless I get sacked, I'm here.
That being said, he didn't feel so bad with Pellegrini. He just came and took that job. मतलब बोले मुंह में आया सब कुछ नहीं.
So anyway, I think let's come down. So I think on the Guardiola team, Barcelona, Leon, interesting was 0-0. And I mean, why I say 0-0 is interesting because even when Barcelona say they go up 1-0, 85th minute Leon can just make it 1-1 and they're through on away goals. What do you think?
यार ये सवाल बहुत खतरनाक है क्योंकि this fixture is so straightforward. Barcelona will, and I've used these words before, they will blow Leon out of the
So Leon are going through.
But now I'm so scared to make predictions because it's like I'm going to go Barca 5, Leon 0. I'm going to get up the next morning, Memphis Depay hat-trick.
Okay, if I had to be a realistic person here, Messi is a top scorer in Europe right now. He should just show up and take this, right? It's going to be a straightforward win for them. Also because Suarez finally hit form in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They have a relatively fit squad.
Yeah.
Kern, what is the one thing that could actually work against them in terms of, do you think Leon have it in them to keep a clean sheet? Firstly, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think Barca are going through, man. I honestly think they're comfortable to go through. What's more interesting is the other 0-0 for me, honestly. That's a little more evenly priced. The Bayern-Liverpool 0-0 is, I think, a more interesting one because here, Liverpool do score.
Who are they?
अरे है छोटा टीम एवर्टन के साथ जो आते हैं ना वो वाला
अच्छा वो लाल वाला सा sorry
I had a very bad joke in my mind.
It's good. Keep it in your mind.
I'm glad I took that one from him. I'm glad I took it from him.
Keep it in your mind. No, but okay, on a serious note, Bayern Liverpool. What are we thinking?
I mean, if you want to talk about Liverpool, I think no. So I think coming strictly to this game, you know, Karan, what's interesting is that last year Champions League was the trophy for Liverpool and they reached the finals. They did very well to reach the final and disappointing final obviously and blah blah blah. But this year it's quite an interesting position that they're in because as a Liverpool fan, if you're sat at home right now looking at the Premier League table, looking at a 0-0 Bayern, of course you'll be optimistic, you'll want to win it. But if I had to say, if you were to pick one, I think this is so unprecedented because this, as a Liverpool fan, you would actually pick the Premier League over the Champions League this year.
Yeah, I mean, as a United fan, I hope Liverpool go through in the Champions League just so that their Premier League fixtures get tougher and the squad depth comes into
it.
Exactly. You know, and I'm hoping that Liverpool go through in the Champions League.
Yeah, and I think, and I'm not saying that Liverpool fans will be sat there saying that, you know what, it's one of the two. They'll obviously say, you know, we
both,
both,
of course.
But I think somewhere deep down in their heart of hearts, they have that thing that, yaar, किस पे focus करना या which, you know, we shouldn't, a bird in hand, there's a very famous saying, a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. In trying to win both, they shouldn't miss out on both.
I agree. You know why? Because you mentioned squad depth, right? And I want to go back to this again because I don't think it's actually that good in terms of quality. No. If let's say Firmino and Salah out, or
Liverpool's squad depth is not good in quality.
Okay, I'll tell you why. If Firmino and Salah are out, or Firmino and Mane are out, and a Shaqiri and a Sturridge start
and Origi
3 games in a row, I don't think they'll get 3 wins on the back, and they won't. I think they'll.
In a business end where they're already chasing City, where they need to win every game, I don't think this team is good. But I mean, I'm coming back to this game. What do you think on the game? Like Bayern versus Liverpool, where do you think this game?
I'll tell you why this game is going to go only because I was a little scared about this in terms of your, you know, United fans saying, okay, you know, Liverpool's strong. But I think Bayern have come into their own season in the last 3-4 weeks. They were last on top of the Bundesliga in game week 5. They're up right now through goal difference, and that's important. They're scoring goals again, and they're scoring really good goals. And right now, if you were Liverpool and you're coming up against a Ribery in form, Lewandowski in form, and you know your Hummels and all who've been dropped by the German national side, they're hungry right now. They want to prove a point. Liverpool will be a little wary, and if Klopp is not, then they're kidding themselves. I think I'd be wary about it.
Yeah, I mean, as we were discussing, right, about the whole pedal on the accelerator, I think Bayern have like floored it right now. They're on the autobahn and they're speeding as fast as they can, you know.
Exactly.
So I mean, so Bayern, we were discussing about Liverpool's title chart. So let's now come to the Premier League.
Right.
Easy wins, man, for Liverpool and City. Like getting the job done. What do you think? Do you think anything is going to drastically change?
They're doing what they have to. This is the run-in. You need to win every game. And they're doing what they have to. So I don't think. Although I think which of the two had a bit of a scare in this game week? Was it Liverpool? Yeah,
Liverpool. Yeah.
Ashley Westwood, I think, scored
correct.
So, but I think that they came back to win 4-2. I think it shows character, and I think it's going to be a very interesting title.
I mean, Liverpool, if they bottle it from here, no, they should just give up on the Premier League and they should just relegate themselves to Championship. This is their best chance, and okay, all jokes aside, this is the best chance for them to win the league.
Yeah.
City have tough fixtures. City are playing United and Tottenham back to back.
Yeah.
There is so much happening over there. And let's say, for example, if Liverpool are knocked out of Champions League there, what do they have to play for, right? They're not even in the FA Cup anymore. City's playing the FA Cup, you know, this weekend.
Liverpool can go top of the table, basically, when City are playing.
And if you elaborate more on that, how do you see Liverpool not winning this?
I honestly see Liverpool not winning because they don't have enough character in this team, man. To be honest, I think City have enough squad depth, even when they're challenging on all fronts. I think City have enough squad depth to get the job done. I mean, they have the riches of like having a Sané on the bench and having De Bruyne out injured. And
they only put Sané on the bench when I captain him. Every time I captain Sané, he's on the bench.
But that's the thing, right? And I mean, we're talking about, now Salah has come into this year, not scored that much, right? And against the top teams, he's not really performed. He's got what? He's got 4 goals versus the top 10 and 0 against the top 5 this season. He scored 1 away goal in this calendar 2019. And you look on the other side and Sterling is suddenly hitting form. If Sterling drops out, you have Aguero who can go right out. If he drops out, you have De Bruyne, you have Sané. So I think City just have a lot of class in this team and they know what it takes to win this thing, right? I mean,
talking about character, Karan, Salah's drawing blanks. He's not scoring. He's not playing too well. Look at what Firmino and Mane are doing. Look at the way they are stepping up. And I'm saying in terms of balance, which is where I come from, I actually disagree when you say that they don't have quality in depth. In fact, I've been harping on about this. I think the reason why Liverpool are still top 2 in the table and the reason why they're still strong, very, very strong title contenders is because of that quality on the depth. It's because of the quality of their depth.
I haven't seen the quality tested enough though, right? I haven't seen the quality tested. Like, you know, what happened to United, you know, they're losing so many players out. You put up a second string side. That's what happened to them all this season, and that's partially why they were first for so long, right? Having an injury-free run. Salah was in form in the first half, not in first after January, you know. And so when you tell me I want to test the squad depth, I want to see Firmino, Mane, Salah, at least 3 or 2 of them out. Play Sturridge, Origi, Shaqiri.
Squad depth. One part of squad depth is injuries.
Correct.
The other part is having the squad to come on and beat Manchester United through a substitute scoring 3 goals.
But they didn't do that.
This is what I'm saying.
Shaqiri.
No, but that's the thing. That's the point I made.
I'm saying right now also that's the ones that they have to win.
That's the point I made. No, those 2 deflected goals was, you know.
Anyway, I think we're just running around in circles.
I
think however United, we were talking about the highs of PSG. We're in a completely other interesting race, which is the top 4 race. United Arsenal just sort of got their job done, and I didn't expect it to be that easy for them.
Before we go to that game, you talked about bottlers earlier. Spurs, thank you so much for inserting yourself in the top 4 race. The last time someone was so generous knows when Gerrard slipped and gave a title to City. Very generous.
इतना बुरा लगता है ना Spurs के लिए यार.
यार वो title race में थे 2 हफ्ते पहले, and now they're.
बच्चा बेचारा पढ़ के जाता है, पढ़ा है उसने, लेकिन जो एग्जाम है ना next day वो अलग दूसरा ही
वो दूसरा सब्जेक्ट है
दूसरा ही सब्जेक्ट है बेचारा मैथ्स पढ़ के कल फिजिक्स का
Dude,
exam
how a Harry Kane has come back into the squad? He's scoring. How are they still losing?
and they still have to face Liverpool away and City away.
And City away, right? How are they doing this? But you know what? Thank you guys so much, because now coming back to United Arsenal and a result, honestly, these two guys didn't expect. I was a little wary about it. Continue where you left off.
I was so damn confident in United are going to, coming off PSG, going to be
Exactly.
like ballers. Pogba's going to come back like, I'm going to take this. Having said that, we were the best. We deserved to win that in terms of not finishing chances, right?
True.
When the penalty was soft, things went against us. I'm not taking anything away from Arsenal. They got the job done.
Yeah.
But it's not like we had a terrible game in terms of, this wasn't United. We were just inefficient at parts in terms of finishing. We created our chances.
What
if you had taken our
chances,
chances, easy chances. We could have finished.
Chances that Lukaku opened 2 meters,
Yeah.
half a meter from goal, he misses
Yeah.
that. Rashford actually had a pretty good, had a good couple of shots that he just absolutely scuffed.
Yeah.
But I think kudos and credit to Arsenal. I think they kept the game well in control in the second half.
Yeah.
I don't remember, we were very menacing. United played really well in the first half. बहुत सारे goals के opportunities थे, chances थे. Second half, I think they just shut the game out. I think it was calm and simple. Was the penalty a wrong decision? No. Was it a soft one? Yes. But I think, guys, something interesting that I'm now seeing in the Champions League, as technology takes over and as the VAR comes more and more into play, penalties are going to get softer. If you just think about it, penalties will get softer because what technology does is it allows you to go exactly by the rule book.
Yeah.
When you slow things down and what otherwise, for example, you
Correct,
get what
I
I'm
get
saying.
what you mean. Yeah.
So I think this is something that this is the game changing.
I mean,
We're witnessing the game change.
Yeah, I think as soon as VR comes on, Chris Smalling's career is over.
I was about to say, I think he has to
he doesn't know how to be in the box without holding someone's jersey.
his contract is going because there's no way, right? And it's good you mentioned this. Even if you go back to Champions League, the PSG penalty, it was so much there was so much debate around it. But look at the statement UEFA has given.
By the book,
the referee has missed the decision completely. He's missed the incident. VAR protocol says because he's missed a decision they thought was so big.
Protocol.
They have to look at it.
But
and they told him to go review the incident and he had to overturn it.
Agreed.
Because they told the referee, you were wrong. Look at the distance. The player had enough time to pull his hand in. There was a big distance. He changed.
Correct.
So I think as much as we don't want technology to take over the game, there will be good parts about this. Like those tough games will become, I guess, more interesting this way.
No. So all the managers are in fact calling for it, and even now this weekend with the whole Sterling incident, they're welcoming VR coming into it. So I think it's going to be not all. There are some people who are against it. But most of the managers, they voted on it before the Premier League started. They want to come bring it in. So I think in the top 4 again, where I think this weekend has blown it open even more right now, right?
I mean, United obviously were underwhelming, but let's assume they would have won, right? Tottenham are 61 points thanks to the amazing game versus Southampton. You would have been tied on 61.
I had Jan Valery in my team.
I don't care.
7 points.
I couldn't care less.
He scored 2 goals in 2 games. He scored against United also.
So basically, we could have been 61 tied. Chelsea with they
Chelsea
dropped 2 points at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal would have been where they were, right? We could have given ourselves a little bit of a cushion because we're playing City and Chelsea back to back in the end of April. That being said, it's still not all bad. Coming to Chelsea, bad one. Stamford Bridge.
Dropping 2 points?
Yeah. Stamford Bridge, bad one. Or Wolves are a good side and you should take them more seriously.
I mean, they are 7th, but if you just look at the table, right, the gap between, like Animesh said, the gap between 3rd and 6th is about 4 points, all factors considered. The gap between 6th and 7th is 13 points. And 6th and 7th happen to be Wolves. So, was it a bad result for Chelsea? I think any day of the week, no matter what form Chelsea is in, no matter what form Wolves in, if you take just the way the two teams have been over the last 10, 20 years, it's a bad result. It's a bad result. They should have won that game. But I think in this context, it's even worse. It's even worse because Chelsea are clutching on straws right now.
Right.
They have a manager who's evidently not very happy. They have a bunch of players, and their best players look like they want out. There's been general a bit of unsettlement.
It's been a weird one because he came out and he defended Jorginho again to the point where he said that okay, I subbed him off, but it's really not Jorginho's fault.
Exactly.
Because the people around him don't move. He went as far to say that Hazard is a great player, he got that goal for us,
Right.
but he should get more movement in. So he's clearly still very rigid on his thing, and
on his system.
And in this run-in, it's going to be an interesting one to see how it goes, because he's still so stubborn. It's going to be an interesting one.
I think
Just to draw another point, and I'll
Right.
open this to you, because we just spoke about Sarri, and this just came to my mind. You know, United also are actually not sitting pretty.
We're
And
not.
I'll tell you,
Definitely not.
I'll tell you from, I think fan sentiment is on a high, so
Right.
people are not talking about this enough. But
Right.
just for a second, let's assume that things went normally and
Yeah,
PSG
the
went
finishing
through.
six.
And let's say PSG went through. We are sixth, keeping Chelsea's game in hand,
Yeah.
a win. We are sixth out of the Champions League. Things could have been a lot more bleak. I think this PSG win is actually masking over some of the challenges that United might face.
No, but having said that,
in
I
this
mean,
top 4 finish.
No, I think if you look at the squad, man, this is the same squad that's been struggling. So what he's come in and he's done, I think regardless of where this season finishes,
Yeah.
he's done a fantastic job, because he's got that feeling back and he's absolutely killed
Take
it. So
nothing
I
away
think-
from the man. I'm talking from a top 4 finish perspective. United are not very well placed.
No, we're not.
No,
Absolutely
we're
not.
Like I said,
Absolutely
losing to Arsenal was actually a very bad result.
Yeah.
Honestly, बोलने जाए तो मेरी दो भी फटी है थोड़ी, because I'm like, we don't have very easy games. Can Ole rally the squad? Yes, he can. Do I have that belief back as a United fan? We all do. But to say that I am overconfident that we'll definitely make top 4,
Maybe not.
maybe not, because come on lads, with Arsenal, we should have at least got a draw out of it. You know, it hurts a bit. You know how Arsenal capitalized on that limited chances the way we did against PSG, right? So it hurts a bit.
Yeah.
It hurts. You know, we should have just taken out at least a draw, a point.
Coming back to Indian football, it's been a phenomenal week for a little known club, and it's a very quirky club because the name of the club is Chennai City FC, CCFC. But they're not based in Chennai, they're a Coimbatore club. And here's the best part. Chennai City Football Club have just become the champions of the I-League. So I think
Well done.
massive respect.
Well done, boys.
Massive respect.
Boys played well.
I think for those of you who don't know much about this club, I must tell you something very interesting. They have almost like a Leicester City FC kind of story to winning this title. Just last year, they were languishing at the bottom of the I-League table. I think they finished they hired a new coach.
Yeah.
They went on a really, really strong run of fixtures. And as a result of that, they not only did they not finish bottom, I think they finished 8th in the I-League last year. They've gone on as the bottom place team to go on, as one of the bottom place teams of the previous season. They've gone on to win the I-League.
Yeah.
And what a way to do it. They beat defending champions Minerva Punjab in the match that actually sealed the title for them.
Right.
So I think a special shout out for Akbar Nawaz, who has been their manager and coach over the last year. A quick assessment of Chennai City FC. What's really worked for them is, some of you may not know, they've got a very interesting blend of local Tamil Nadu youth talent.
Yeah.
And they've got a couple of Spaniards playing for them who've actually done a lot of the brunt work. You know, they've done a lot of
great recruitment and basically the good cohesion within the team.
Absolutely.
They've been
And
consistent.
if you're a Guardiola fan, you must tune into Chennai City FC because they've had I think the fulcrum of their success has been possession-based football. So it's interesting. I think it's refreshing to see clubs like this come up. I think it's amazing that there are stories like Chennai City FC, Minerva Punjab, the one in Kashmir.
Aizaul.
I think, of course, you've got Aizaul. So I think it's brilliant for Indian football. And now talking about another segment of Indian football, which is the Indian Super League. We're in the semi-final stages. What a weekend it's been. And you know what, guys? This is where I come back with revenge, because I let Kern talk straight away about the fantastic 5-1 defeat that Mumbai City had to face in their home ground, the Mumbai Football Arena, against FC Goa. God.
Dude, when we went up 1-0, I thought I would have a voice for this show. Because I was at the stadium, I was going nuts, obviously. I went crazy. I thought, dude, I don't have a voice. Done, boys. Both of these two are going to do the show. But then, Goa was just too good, man. I mean, Goa was just too comfortable. मतलब, उनको फर्क ही नहीं पड़ा यार. हम लोग एक गोल मारा, ठीक है क्या है? हम लोग अभी चालू करते हैं अपना खेलने को. हो गया तेरा खेल के? मैं अभी चालू करता हूँ. And they just turned it up. And Okay, people are saying ki chalo, if this save there would have been the okay, that save there would have gone the other way.
Yeah.
I think Goa was just too strong, man. I mean, I don't think it made those 1-2 things where people, I mean, as fans, you want to look at it and say ki, nahi yaar, ye hota to ho jata, but let's be honest, Goa far superior. And to be fair, I mean, even the previous episode did say that, you know, Goa I'm very scared of this match.
You were banking on a miracle of sorts.
I was banking on a miracle, saying, you know, अगर बहुत ही कुछ अच्छा हुआ और सब एकदम goes by like you know however we wanted it will happen, but Goa are too good. And I mean, shout out to this Goan team where it's not just the foreigners who are doing it, but the coach actually got the Indians to sort of outperform themselves. Where suppose a Jackie Chan Singh,
correct,
I've never seen him play this well as he's done under this Goan jersey, right? And credit to them. And this, I think they're favourites to go on and win it. Now, I mean, now we know that they are going to face Bengaluru in the finals. Yeah. But I think they're going to go on and win. And Bengaluru, not bad, huh? Like a good comeback.
A great comeback, you know, for Bengaluru. You know, we spoke about them last week, and I said, you know, Northeast have a chance. Over 2 legs, you know, kind of go through. Northeast did win the first leg 2-1. Bangalore very poor, at least in the first half, you know, in Guwahati. They didn't turn up properly. Northeast really were very, very, very strong. And, you know, you assume when they come back to Bangalore, maybe they'll hold on, and they did. They held on for 70 minutes. I guess finally the injuries caught up. No Beche, even
no
Rollin.
Gregory went off injured.
Gregory went off injured, right? And I think the resolve finally broke. But kudos to Bangalore. This is what you actually hope, though. There is a side of the pedigree like Bangalore, coming in from being I-League winners into the ISL last year, finishing first but not winning, finishing first again this year but still looking sketchy. Your Chetris and your Mikos stood up. You know, that's what you want. They just had the talent, right? Udanta, they had the talent. They finally stood up. That being said, it's Bangalore versus Goa in the final. I mean, yeah, the second leg is still left for Mumbai, Goa, but
I don't think Mumbai City are doing well.
I think Goa will definitely win the final. There's no doubt in
that. The curse of the finishing first on the table to continue.
I think Bangalore are best placed. If there was ever a club to break a curse, it's Bangalore FC. They've done it all. They've done it the hard way. I think, like Annie said, they've come from the I-League. They've won the I-League and then come into the ISL, and they've done pretty well. So I think Bengaluru, baby. I think Bengaluru are gonna beat the Goans.
I think it's gonna be Goa's year. And before these guys, I know they're dying to before they come back to any sort of Mumbai topic. Let's wrap up this show right now. I know they're itching to rub this in. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please hit subscribe. Please leave your comments. Please share, like, do all of that. Please follow us. Please feel free to bring on the banter. And we'll see you next week.